Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thrifty Traveler's Kitchen. I'm Curt, and on today's menu we're going to make some Depression era porcupine meatballs. That's what I'm going to make, porcupine meatballs. So for this we're going to need a 1 pound of fresh ground beef. What a time for my battery camera to die. Sorry about that. So in that ground beef I've added 4 cloves of garlic that I crushed. You can chop it up really fine if you like. Now, I also chopped up a medium white onion, and what we're going to do is we're going to add about 1/4 of that in with our ground beef, and the rest I'm going to save to put in with the sauce. I'll get a dish to put that in. Set that aside. Now, next into our ground beef, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon black pepper, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. What I've also got to add to that is I have a 1/2 cup of rice, just normal long grain rice that I soaked for about 15 minutes. Then we're going to add 1/2 cup of water, just to add some extra moisture there that's going to help the rice cook while we're putting it, when we put it in the oven. So let's get that all mixed together, and then we'll form our meatballs. Okay, we'll move this out of the way. This is going to be our baking dish. It's a 9x13 baking dish. I'm going to spray that down with some cooking spray. Now we can form our meatballs. Don't need them too big or too small, something about that size. We're going to try and get about 20 to 24 meatballs out of that. Make them roughly the same size. Looks like I'm making them a little bit big, but you can make them a little smaller if you like. Probably gonna get about 14 or 15 out of this. 14, I guess. A little bit off some of these bigger ones to make this one. A little bigger. Okay, so we got 14. I'll put this away and I'll wash my hands. Okay, I'll set those aside and we'll make up our sauce. So in the sauce, we're going to go 2 cups of tomato sauce. And we're going to add using the water to rinse out the cup, 1 cup of water. Throw in the rest of that onion. And I got a stalk of celery here. So we'll quickly dice up that celery. Add that to our sauce. Okay. And another teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of black pepper. Mix that all together. Grab our meatballs and we will reform that one a little bit. And we're going to dump that sauce all in over top of our meatballs. Now I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. We're going to cover this with a sheet of tin foil and we're going to bake it for about 45 minutes, and then we're going to remove the tin foil and let it finish off for a total cooking time of about an hour. Cover it up, we'll pop that in the oven and we'll finish up the cooking, come back, take a look. Okay, so it's been an hour, let's pull them out of the oven, take a look. There we go. They smell delicious. I think they look good too. So I'll be back in a little bit when I'm going to serve a couple of those up for dinner. I think I'm just going to put some on some noodles. And then we'll also let them cool down so we can pack up the rest for the freezer. So I whipped myself up some instant noodles here. I'm going to try out a couple of these porcupine meatballs. That's going to be my dinner. And then I'll be back in a little bit and show you how we pack them up for the freezer so you can take them out on the road. Okay guys, now it's time to pack up our porcupine meatballs to take out on the road. A couple of different ways you can pack this one because it's easy to just reheat this one in the microwave. You put them in these handy dandy little containers, or you can still put them into a vacuum sealed bag or even a Ziploc bag if that's what you prefer. A couple of different starches here. I've got mashed potatoes and I just creamed those up with a little bit of butter, salt and pepper and a little bit of milk. And then I've got egg noodles because I thought that would go really good with our porcupine meatballs. So let's start out with our starch. So we'll put in a healthy serving of noodles, like that there. Let's go with 1/3 cup of frozen vegetables. And we'll put in a couple of those porcupine meatballs. And we'll get some of that sauce. That's it. Put the lid on. It's ready to go into the freezer. The other way, of course, is the vacuum seal bag. So I fold over the edges here. This one we'll do with potatoes. I got a ice cream scooper here. Put in 2 scoops of potato. Boop, boop. Get it down to the bottom of the bag. Get us 1/3 cup of frozen veggies. I dump them everywhere. And a couple of our porcupine meatballs with some of that sauce. Get that in there. We'll set this aside. We'll grab the vacuum sealer. Just so happen to have it sitting here ready to go. I unfolded the edge. Line that up. And vacuum seal. Wait for the seal light to go off so that it's finished sealing up. There we go. And of course, it's always best to write on the bag what it is. Better put a date on there too. And now that one's ready to go in the freezer. Okay, so what I packaged up today, I got 5 portions for the freezer for 5 entrees to go on the road. Now let's just take a quick look at the costs. I used a pound of ground beef that I got from Costco. I bought the big 10-pound chub, so it worked out to $5.25 for a pound of beef. I used some onions and celery and a can of tomato sauce. So let's say that's about $3 to give us $10 for that. Now we look at our sides. We have potatoes. I think I had about 80 cents worth of potatoes, a little less than a pound, or a little more than a pound, pardon me. And then I used 1/3 of a bag of egg noodles, and the bag was $3, so let's say $1 for egg noodles. So with the 5 portions that I got for the freezer, plus what I ate last night for dinner, let's say 6 portions. So we're looking at, what was it? 10, 11, 12, let's say $12 divided by 6 is $2 per portion. $2 for a meal that you can pop into a microwave and have in your motel room. I think that's pretty thrifty and a lot better than going out to a fast food joint and dropping $10, $15 on another greasy hamburger. Something that you can have in the motel room that you cooked at home and you know exactly what's in it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. And I'm going to be doing another video here soon with some other tips and tricks that you can use to make it thrifty and save some money when you're out on the road. Okay?